All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. I'm like 20 seconds away from my place, but this cannot wait. We have breaking NFL news here. The Denver Broncos have just hired Sean Payton to become the team's next head coach. This is absolutely massive. But before we dive into, what the future holds for Denver, I quickly wanted to say for the Saints fans out there, this is a win. There was no guarantee that Sean Payton was going to be back. Whether it was this season, next offseason at all, right? He could have just stuck with Fox. That was completely up in the air. And of course, the Saints, because Payton did step away, the Saints still owned his rights. So although it does sting to see Sean Payton, to think about him coaching another franchise, right? Because when I think of Sean Payton, I just think of the Saints. A little bit Cowboys, but the Saints, pretty much. I can't picture when I'm trying to picture Peyton in Broncos gear, I just can't do it. So I know it's going to sting for the Saints fans, but you were getting a 2023 first round pick, a future second round pick. Yeah, it does kind of suck that you have to give up a third round pick, but at the end of the day, again, there was no guarantee here. You were coming off a down season. You were speeding up the reloading process. You were getting a first round pick that is an absolute luxury. And a future second. I believe it's going to be the following year. That is big time. Okay, that is huge. Now, for the Denver Broncos, I think this was the best hire that they could have made. Right, out of all the guys out there, D'Amico Ryans, there's so many qualified candidates. Jim Harbaugh was another one. But I mean, if I was a Bronco fan or even a Jet fan too, for that matter, like if I'm looking at all these guys and I have to say I could just have my choice between any, I would go with Sean Payton. Proven winner, knows offense, experienced mind, has had so many years of making deep playoff runs. He's a Super Bowl champion. He knows how to get the job done. Okay, he is the perfect candidate for the Denver Broncos, in my opinion, because you look at that team, I know the record isn't really that all impressive coming off a season with Nathaniel Hackett, but that is an offense with Russell Wilson, a future Hall of Famer, a stacked wide receiving core. I love Judy. I love Sutton. I love KJ Hamler. You look at the home field advantage. You look at the defense. I think the Denver Broncos is a fantastic, really the only downside with Denver. Russell Wilson's contract, of course you are concerned a little bit about, is Russell... are we going to continue to see this poor play from Wilson moving forward? Of course, that's a concern, but I got to be honest, if you're getting such a good offensive mind and Sean Payton in the building, you have to think that he's not going... I mean, really, he has his choice between so many teams out there. Is he really going to step out of his great gig at Fox to take this job if he didn't have confidence in Russell Wilson? Because you can't trade him. You can't cut Russell because of that contract. You got to work with him moving forward. I think the Denver Broncos will be fine. I think they will be fine. As far as like the draft and whatnot is concerned, like free agency, I just don't really see Denver doing a ton. But the bottom line is the good news for the Broncos fans. They have such a stacked team that I could very well see this team making the playoffs next year. I know it sounds crazy considering the season that they just had, but a lot of these losses were close. There was just so many mistakes offensively. I think I remember seeing a stat where it was like, if the Broncos scored, I think it was like 17 or 20 points a game, the record would have looked completely different because that's how good the defense was, and it was the offense that was just so unproductive. And what better coaching candidate to get in the building to fix the offense that already has a lot of talent than Sean Payton? Absolutely massive. This is crazy. Man, we got more breaking in. We got more news here. The Houston Texans are hiring D'Amico Ryans. Absolutely crazy. I gotta get home to get to Wi-Fi. I'll upload the video with Ryans in a second. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, go Jets.